Hi, welcome to Deep Learning. My name is Kellen. I'm the instructor for the course. I wanted to do a little video introduction so you can get to know me, see my face, and so I can tell you a little bit about myself and what you can expect from the course. So I've been working at Regis University for the last 6 years, but only the last year in the data science department. Before that, I was working in the chemistry department. And that's because I'm an analytical chemist by training. I received my PhD from the University of Denver 6 years ago in analytical chemistry. So you might ask yourself, well, what does analytical chemistry and data science have in common? And I would say a lot. When I was a PhD student in analytical chemistry, I would model chemical systems using a technique called chemometrics. And chemometrics is gathering all the information you can from a chemical system and modeling it. And so I didn't know it at the time, but that is exactly what machine learning is in data science. And that was the best part of my job when I was a graduate student. I much preferred analyzing the data, writing the algorithms, writing the code, predicting the outcomes of chemical systems, much more than collecting the data in the lab. And so when the position opened up in the data science department, I hopped on it, and it's been a great transition. I'm really happy here. So some of my other interests are baseball and chess. So I really like baseball for a number of reasons, but also I think it's really neat how data science, both the software, the algorithms, and the hardware has revolutionized baseball in the last few years, maybe 5 years. The way teams evaluate players, position players, has completely changed. And that's because now the hardware has gotten to the point where we can measure spin rates of balls that are being hit, or launch angles and bat speeds, and spin rates on pitches, and where the ball, and frame rates for catchers, and every single ball that is thrown is in a database. And now there's shifts, defensive shifts, and alignments of baseball players, and it's completely changed the outcome of the game, for better or worse. In a lot of ways better, and in some ways worse. But I think that's actually really neat, and a really neat application of data science. And I'm going to have a couple GIFs I want to share with you that kind of highlight what I really like about baseball. And so here's a baseball GIF right here. It's Yu Darvish throwing a baseball, 5 different pitches, and he's throwing them to Albert Pujols at the plate. And so I think this GIF really highlights the difficulty and the skill of baseball, the skill of the pitcher to release the ball at the same exact arm spot each time. The ball goes, the 5 different balls go in 5 different directions from the spin that the pitcher's putting on the ball, and they reach the plate at 5 different times based upon the grip of the ball. So I think this is really cool, just showing you the skill of the pitcher. And then, on the flip side of this, batters can hit these balls. And so that I find that really amazing. And I mentioned about the data science and how data has completely changed baseball. And if you want to dive into that a little bit more, I'd really recommend going to Fangraphs. Fangraphs does an excellent job of collecting statistics, methods behind those statistics, the modeling, and have articles that just dive deep and get into the weeds of baseball and data science, and when those two really come together. I also really like chess, and I do follow professional chess a little bit. This is a picture of Magnus Carlsen, who's the #1 grandmaster in the world. And this is a chessboard with mate in 3, which means that white can force checkmate in 3 moves. So take a look at that, see if you can solve it. But I'd also just like to say that data science has also completely changed chess, from the way players practice, study openings and closings and middle games. And in fact, the algorithms and the hardware for chess has gotten to the point where, what I have on my phone can beat a grandmaster, someone like Magnus Carlsen. And so to me, that's a really cool thing, and it doesn't diminish the skill of chess when humans are playing humans. But there's also chess competitions between computers and computers, which is also kind of interesting too. So the checkmate in 3 is white to move first. White comes down, takes the pawn. King's only, or black's only move is to move the king and capture the queen. Then the rook comes over onto the H file, and the king has to retreat back, and then the rook comes down and to H8 and gives a checkmate. And so now I would like to just kind of end my introduction with Well, before we get to that, a little bit about the course. So it's an online course. We're going to be using D2L or World Class every single day. So please look there for your discussion posts, assignments, and little video lectures just like this, where I'm going to try to supplement the book with some lectures on some of the more difficult concepts. The book we're going to be using is Deep Learning with Python. This is a great book. Has a really great step through examples on deep learning, and we're going to be using the examples in that book and book chapters from this. So I would recommend buying this book. It is free from the publisher and from Safari Books through the Regis Library, but I like holding the book and having a book in my hand. It's much easier to read, and so I would recommend buying it. It's only about $20 or $30 on Amazon. If you want to get deeper into it and know machine learning, deep learning to a deeper extent, and want to know the math behind it, I would recommend this book. This book is fantastic, and it does a great job of explaining the math behind the algorithms that we're going to be using. So I'm only going to be referencing chapters and sections of this book as a reference or as supplemental, and for more information if you choose to look at those, if you choose to look at that. Also in this course, I'd like to meet each one of you via Zoom chat just like this, so I can see your face and get to know you all. I think it helps build the community in the online environment, which is important. And so lastly, I'm just going to share with you my favorite GIF, or just a favorite GIF of mine. It gets me laughing each time. And I do want you guys to all share your favorite GIF or a favorite GIF on the World Class website too, just so we can all have a chuckle together. And so one of my favorite ones here is these two babies. I assume they're siblings. They're eating beets, and it cracks me up every single time. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have two kids at home, and I know how they eat, and I know how silly they can be. But yeah, those babies eating those beets really gets me going each time. So thanks for watching my videos, and look forward to working with you all in the class.